So every episode we're already in conversation when the episode starts, and then when we basically segue into the fact that we're starting the episode, that's already our intro, and then we say
because they'll have an interviewee in, and the interviewee sitting down, and they're talking for the first minute, and you only know this because you're watching the video on your phone, and the guy says, "Oh, we're rolling," and you realize
I don't listen to podcasts evidently because the ones I listen to are more like
almost always it's that way, and they're like, "Yeah, we just start the video and start talking to you. We don't tell you ready action."
Because it's more natural that way.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So like another example is the video's going right now. And the longer we sit here and talk about stuff that...
Did you get your mic on? Because that would help.
There you go. The longer we sit here and talk about stuff...
Yeah, turn it on too.
About...
Just turn it on.
About the meta situation here is the more you gotta cut the video.
Sure.
Let's just do this.
Sure, I'll get a different... Well, this pack doesn't need to go up here. Yeah, there you go.
All right, now.
Other side.
See that?
People who are smart in some ways are dumb in others.
Hey! They're just having a conversation.
Correct.
100%. Now, when you grow and grow, like you end up with a guy who works for you with a laptop over here and a big old screen. And as we sit here and talk for 2 hours and we're saying X, Y, and Z and we have to check, you have somebody else who you just look at and say, hey, can you search that up? And then you keep talking and they tell you the answer.
Right.
It grows and it grows.
One of the freeing aspects of a podcast versus being a vlogger is that I don't have to stare at the camera and talk about a little vein. Where if I'm just sitting and talking to you, I'm myself and I'm not putting on some type of show. I'm just having fun having a conversation.
Exactly what you just said about staring at the camera and talking, right, is what Michael Scott excels in, right? Just last night, I watched the episode, I think season 4, right, where he does the apology video. And he gets the camera out and he looks at Pam and he's like, what's this for? And she's like, I know what it's for. It's when the watermark was on the paper.
Yeah,
He's
the duck.
The apology video. So it's this, but it's him just in the camera making a video for himself in the future. And that's weird. We would rather just sit here and talk to each other, right?
Correct.
Than just looking at a camera to make a video. I mean, I could write a book if I wanted to do that.
And more of just, this is what we would be talking about whether we were in this room or filming or not. We would just be
the camera cannot cause the thing that we talk about. Right? That's why the best podcasts are when you get to a point where the person living their life doesn't have to set the camera up. The camera is just always on the person, and they get to go about just living their life knowing that there will be footage of what they do and what they talk about.
But to a degree, but they're also... I got to filter a little bit because I have to be aware that I might get canceled if I say the wrong thing.
Well, of course. That's why the videographers they hire work for them and not for somebody
a
else.
third-party company. So they can just edit that out. I got you. Now, you had a topic you wanted to make sure we covered today.
I had a topic.
Topic O today.
Topic O today.
Topic O today.
Topic O today. Let's say you're down in Mississippi. Okay? Now, funny enough, the least expensive place to live in the entire country. I don't know if that has anything to do with this. But let's say you're down in Mississippi, okay? And you go to a diner and you order a Reuben sandwich, right?
You don't know me at all.
Hey. You just order, and she says, well, what would you like to drink with that? You know, with her molasses, whatever Mississippi is. Hey there, what would you like to drink with that? Mississippi. And you say, I would like a tea, right? Then the waitress says, would you like that sweetened or unsweetened? And this is the crux of the problem, right? This is the crux, this is the issue. If you put sugar inside tea, it's now sweet tea.
Correct.
Right? If you just give someone tea without putting sugar in it, what is it?
Well, I know what you're asking, and the answer is it's tea.
It's tea.
But some people would
tea,
say
right?
it's unsweet tea.
So this is what I'm getting to. It's
Yeah.
unsweetened iced tea.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me mad.
And why is that, deal?
Give me one other example where that makes sense. If you give me a black coffee, okay, I don't call it unsweetened coffee.
But you do call it black coffee if somebody asks you.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, but then again,
Do you want
coffee.
black or do you want cream and sugar?
Oh, wait, why can't we say that with tea? Why do we have to say unsweetened as if we took something?
Correct.
Why can't you just say
Tea, or do you
want
want
brown?
tea with sugar?
Here's what I say: brown. It's kind of brown, right? You want brown tea?
I don't think anybody wants to drink brown water, though.
You want brown?
Even though cola, tea, they're brown, we don't want to call it brown because then it's unappetizing. I think it's more geographical, is what I think.
So I said Mississippi.
Yeah, so if you're in Mississippi, I don't think the waitress would even ask you if you said, I would like a tea. She goes, all right, sugar.
She gets you
and she'd
sweet
come
tea.
back with a sweet tea. And if you said, ma'am, this is really sweet, she'd be like,
Then-
we've got the best sweet tea in all of
And then
Mississippi.
if you said it's really sweet and you don't want a sweet tea,
Right.
she would pick the tea up, take it to the back, take the sugar out of it,
No.
and give you
They
an
wouldn't
unsweet-
even have regular tea probably in that diner.
They wouldn't have any unsweetened
Probably
iced
not.
tea.
No, we don't even serve that here, sugar. And if she would call you sugar when she's
Yeah.
talking about the sugar. Even in my lifetime, there's been a shift in Kansas in particular where now sweet tea is becoming normalized in Kansas. And when I was growing up, I know it was just regular tea. So I think we've been inundated with
It's just the sugar.
the marketing side of it going, what we can sell them that they don't usually have in Kansas yet? Sweet tea. And they'll think it's a new idea, those idiots. And I think it's winning a little bit. Because if I go through the drive-thru somewhere and I have the same conversation you have, can I have an iced tea? Would you like sweet or unsweet? Like just regular, and they don't know what that means.
Yeah, just take
Yeah.
a regular tea,
Yeah,
man.
just an iced tea.
Iced tea.
Yeah.
I'm not a big tea drinker myself anyways, but it just, and yeah, there's not a whole lot to compound on that, but I think there's a lot to it, and I can bring it to kind of a next point, right? A lot of these terminologies don't make sense, okay? So, organic is another one,
Okay.
okay? I don't know about organic,
Okay.
okay? So what is
Are you
organic?
talking about certified organic?
Well, now we're talking about it, right? So what does organic mean? You tell me.
No additives,
No additives.
no GMOs.
No
It's as natural as you can grow something without any chemicals or anything involved.
No GMOs.
No modification. It's just the way God made it.
No
With the
GMOs.
seedling to the produce, this is the way it was. The one I'm thinking of isn't organic, it's the word natural.
Natural.
They'll package everything and say it's natural, but natural is not a word that's actually clarified by the FDA. You can call anything natural. It doesn't have to be organic.
Just call anything
It doesn't-
natural.
Yeah, you can just say it's natural Dr. Pepper. Like you got it out of a stream somewhere. So because they used ingredients to make it, well, those are natural ingredients. Natural after we modified them. Natural is just a loose term that you can put on any package.
Organic means natural. It means from the earth. So what makes something not organic? What makes it not organic?
And the fact that it's been modified by mankind.
The fact that it's been modified by mankind.
Yeah.
And we're not modifying by mankind anything at all. The watermelons that say organic.
So if I get a watermelon seed, somehow a pure watermelon seed, and I'm sure there's a way to test this, and I plant that in the ground in the right environment, the right acidity in the soil, the right weather outside the soil, the right sunlight, the right amount of moisture that I add to it with watering it, and it grows into a watermelon on a vine, and I take that off. I did nothing to protect that from nature, other than maybe fence it in, but I didn't put any chemicals on it to keep bugs and anything away from it. It's not going to be as big as one that's been modified to grow faster and to keep bugs and things like that away from it. That's organic.
Okay. The term organic doesn't make sense. And I'd say so something existed on the planet without human modification, okay? And it was just a watermelon. We'll say watermelon, right? It was just a watermelon. And then humans came along and we started doing things to just a watermelon. And a watermelon didn't go at that point from a watermelon to a chemical watermelon. It just stayed a watermelon.
Okay.
Until one day after we started doing stuff to these watermelons, in the future we all went, oh, we're doing too much to the watermelons. Let's not do as much. And then when we stopped doing as much to the watermelons, we started calling them organic.
Yeah. So by that metric, at some point,
why did we add something extra? Why does organic have to exist? Organic just means
I think
watermelon.
I think you're making your own point.
It just means, I don't like using the word.
Yeah,
we call it a chemical thing if it's not organic, and call it just the thing if it's organic.
Gotcha. So it should be a watermelon or a modified watermelon.
Exactly.
Like a seedless watermelon.
Why are we calling it, why are we add the extra word to watermelon?
Yeah.
It already was a watermelon.
So that's an insult.
It just doesn't make any sense that we picked that word. We said...
Would you say you're organic, Dave, or are you not organic?
This is deep, right? Because this is what I'm talking about. Yeah. I'm not organic. I'm David. I'm just David if I'm being good, and if I'm being bad, there's extra with me. But I'm just David if I'm being good. If a watermelon's just being a watermelon, it's just a watermelon.
Gotcha.
It doesn't. Why is it organic? It's like the special things are the normal things, right? And the
All right, so we've got to move on. The last thing we're talking about today,
please,
is our segment we call Desert Island. Desert Island drinks is the topic today.
Okay.
So DL, you get Desert Island drinks. We pulled 100 people, and the top 5 drinks. If I'm on a desert island, I'm drinking this the rest of my life on this desert island. What are those desert island drinks? You have to get 3 out of 5 on this list to win the game.
This was asked as like Family Feud, like they asked 100 people.
Yeah, we asked 100 people.
Okay.
And
these are the top 5 answers.
Yeah, everybody's number 1 answers. Everybody gave us one answer. So what did they say? Was their number 1 drink that they would take on the desert island with them? Water was not an option on the desert island. So anything but water. Now remember, you got to get 3 out of 5 to win the game. If you win the game, we got a little prize for you. Make your day a little bit better.
Juice. Gatorade.
Gatorade should have been on the list. Can't believe it's not. Can't believe it's not. So you're 0 for 1 because we're not going to count juice against you. You can still name a juice. But that's 1 strike. You get 3 strikes and you're out. Specific.
Alcohol.
Too vague.
Beer?
Beer didn't make the list. Didn't make the list. Surprisingly.
Alcohol is too vague.
I'll just give you a heads up because you already got 2 strikes and you've got 0 answers correct so far. There's no alcohol on the list. No alcohol on the list. And I think that's probably because people thought a little bit too much and went, what is going to happen if I only drink alcohol? I'm going to die.
Well, not
yes.
Dr.
Sorry.
Pepper.
Dr. Pepper was number 3 on the list.
Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew was number 4 on the list.
Yeah, I did. All right, so Coca-Cola.
No. 3 strikes, you're out.
Sprite.
So here's what else was on the list. At number 5, we had coffee. Coffee, believe it or not. We're both drinking it, so we shouldn't slam it too much. But I don't know, on a desert island, it seems a little hot for coffee.
Like, how are we drinking this? Is the bottle just
out of
never...
a coconut? You didn't know that? Number 2 was...
Is it never ending, though?
Yeah, it's a coconut.
It's just the coconut always gets filled up with the drink.
Correct.
Okay.
All the coconuts have the same drink in them.
What about when you run out of coconuts?
You don't.
What if you want coconut water?
The elements are going to get you before the fluids. The fluids are going to save you.
Okay.
All right, so we've got coffee at 5, Mountain Dew at 4, Dr. Pepper at 3. You're already out, so this is just for fun.
Number 2. Ding, 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 ding.
Remember, it's a desert island. What's refreshing? Gatorade was a great guess.
Iced tea.
Tea was number 1. And number 2, lemonade was number 2 on the list. And the good news is I made up that entire list off the top of my head as I was sitting here. We didn't pull anybody. But that's probably why you got them wrong. You got 3 strikes because some of your answers like Gatorade were better than what I had written on the list. Gatorade would be great for a desert island.
Yeah.
That should have been number 1.
Well, I had whiskey for my number 1.
Yeah, that sounds depressing to me. I don't know if I'm not going to allow that. This is supposed to be an uplifting podcast.
Whiskey, though. Listen,
tell me about whiskey. I don't drink.
I'll just tell you, if you're going to
Why would I want whiskey on a desert?
Because you're going to be in a desert island alone,
Yeah.
and you're probably going to die soon, so you might as well have a good time.
So it's not about survival, it's about killing yourself.
All right, so this is supposed to end, but this just every movie isn't Castaway. Every situation isn't Forrest Gump, isn't Tom Hanks figuring it out after 10 years. you're gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're dead.
Okay.
You think you're gonna live on the desert island?
I'll probably kill myself, but I don't know.
Whiskey will help you do that.
Okay, there you go. Gotcha. Understood.
Like, I will maybe just take nothing because I'm trying to like not die on a desert island over a long period of time. Trying to just, like, I'll take one shot at making a raft and getting out, and I'll either get eaten or drown or not.
Now, if I added like your favorite person in the world to be on the island with you.
Okay.
So Heather's on the island with you.
Now we're talking.
Do you still want whiskey so you guys can kill yourselves together? Because you're stranded, but you're like it's a permanent vacation.
Well, permanent. Like, I still think we're gonna die, man.
I agree, but do you want to go down faster together, Romeo and Juliet style? Or do you want to like, hey, let's live it up on this island in a safer way than whiskey,
Yeah.
so that way we can enjoy our time together before we die.
In a safer way.
Yeah, before we're dying.
I'm for it. You've convinced me. I'm gonna go with Mountain Dew. That's
So
my
yours
final
is
answer.
Mountain Dew. I thought that would be yours. That's what I told the producers before we started.
Is that the prize?
No, you already lost because you had 3 strikes. But what I would say for mine would be, is it cheating if I say an Arnold Palmer? Is that cheating? Because it's 2 different things together?
That's cheating,
It's
man.
one drink, though.
It's combining the two.
You get to decide this. This
It's
is my
important.
island.
All right, so I'm either on the island.
I'm on my island.
You're on your island. Do I have a big? Because it's not magic. Quit with the coconuts. Like, is it like?
How dare you? Yeah. That's just my favorite drink. If I want something, just relax and not like Dr. Pepper or Mountain Dew. I love both of those, but it can make me sick after a while. Arnold Palmer, I could just drink that whenever I'm thirsty and feel satisfied.
Yeah, I'll give you an Arnie.
Thanks, man.
Got to be 80-20.
So I've got an Arnie. Yeah, that's the way I roll. And it's 20 lemonade. Not,
Yep.
Yeah, I want it to be not overly sweet.
Maybe 70-30. I'm a little more 70-30.
If it's 60-40, I can roll with it. But if it's 50-50, I'm like, this is, whew,
Too much.
make my little tummy ache. Little tummy ache. But yeah, Mountain Dew's a tough one to pass
All you're
up.
doing, it goes back to our tea conversation. When you put lemonade in an iced tea, you're just replacing the sugar from the sweet with lemonade.
Yes, but now,
Right?
I've had both sweet tea
And an Arnold Palmer.
and Arnold Palmer. Even a 50-50 Arnold Palmer, not nearly as sweet as a sweet tea.
Well, how much sugar makes the sweet tea?
Like McDonald's sweet tea. McDonald's sweet tea is sweeter than Dr. Pepper. Like, there's so much sugar in it.
There's levels to this. Like, you might...
But if you look online, like, a sweet tea has more sugar in it than any kind of pop.
Yeah.
It's full of sugar.
Well, I used to make it when I wait tables. You'd have the big thing, and you'd go get and you'd dump a whole thing of sugar, and you'd get the thing and stir it.
It's sweet
In
diabetes.
the morning.
So, hey, we had a great podcast today. I want to thank all of our sponsors. Right now, our biggest sponsor is Russ Herman State Farm. And they're like a good neighbor. And, call them for a quote today.
Hey, how about those Chiefs, man?
Unbelievable. It's tough being a Chiefs fan, even though it's easy being a Chiefs fan because we've been blessed. So,
Be saying, why don't we trade Tyreek Hill, right? Why doesn't Travis Kelce go start dating Taylor Swift, right?
Mm-hmm.
And why didn't Patrick Mahomes go start doing a ton of commercials?
Mm-hmm.
That way, nobody can be focused.
you
know what I mean? That way,
it works.
That way, nobody can be focused on the game.
Here's the funny part of everything you just said. Tyreek Hill having the best career of his best year of his career with the Dolphins. Travis Kelce, for a 34-year-old tight end, doing something that rarely has been done in NFL history still, even though he's not having the same year he usually does. And Patrick Mahomes, by all accounts, playing pretty normal. Problem is they can't catch the football. So it's give and take. You can't fill every need at once. But what I thought you were going to say is if I was the Chiefs in September, I would have said, you know what we should do? Get a wide receiver.